Hey, have you ever wondered how a brand new player would fare in the hardest World of Warcraft mode? Well, I have, and the results were exactly what you expect. But what if the new player didn't just quit? What if they locked in, learned everything they could about their character using every trick in their arsenal? Last time I played, I did okay. Sure, there were a lot of close calls, and in the end, we only died because we forgot to buff ourselves. But this time, I'm locked in. This time, it's different. Welcome to the journey of grinding, close calls, and sweaty palms. Welcome to the adventures of Doofenshmirtz, the mage. We've already covered the beginning of the game, so I won't bore you with that again. Let's just do a quick recap. We kill wolves and bats, destroying the mindless zombies, and go for a walk. We slap some stuff with the broom and almost die from these mobs again. We finish up the zone and it's time to take revenge on the raptors, but this time I'm playing it safe. We should sneak in, take out only the ones we need, and finally get to the stolen silver. Of course, this still turns into a challenge because the mobs hit like a truck, and even with the poly I nearly died to the first one. But I pop a potion, freeze the second one, and kill it, almost having a heart attack in the process. We grab the silver and run out as fast as we can. After taking down a few more mobs, finishing the remaining quests, it's time to take a walk to the next zone. Like every other zone, we pick up the quest and begin our new journey through the Stonetalon mountains. We start by clearing out an entire camp of evil cows, and once that's done, we head to a much scarier camp full of these so-called Taurans, where we find Kaya Flathoof. She needs an escort to safety down the mountain, so we start the walk, but as soon as we reach the camp, we are ambushed. 3 evil Taurans jump us, and while we are busy defending against the 2 melee brutes, Kaya gets taken out by the mage Tauran. Now we are on our own. We are in a tight spot, super close to dying again, but somehow we survive with just 31 HP. In the panic, I spam click any health potion I can find and start running for my life. Let's just say things got real messy, real fast. I wasn't about to lose all my progress again, so I just abandoned the quest and continue up the mountain to find a safer adventure. We head out to find a camp named Sunrock Retreat, pick up all the quests and continue down the path to start leveling. First task, grab some spider eggs, but every egg has a surprise. Either you get nothing or you end up facing a nightmare of 2. After doing a favor for every arachnophobe in the world, I stroll through the woods and stumble upon a full-on loggers festival. We need to slay 15 of them, and while we are at it, we find the main operator and borrow the Super Reaper 6000 blueprint from him.
See this guy? Number 1 bullshit guy.
Once the task is done, the add-on just tells us to heart out to Camp Taurajo and never look back, so not knowing any better, we do exactly that. As soon as we land back in the Barrens, we pick up a quest that's practically an adventure on its own. We need to take down a bunch of bristleback boars and collect 60 of their tusks, but it's not as easy as it sounds. The Geomancers? Absolutely insane. Every time I try to kill one, they drop me to about 15% HP, but we power through, and after taking down the last one, we head back to claim our reward. While boar hunting, we came across a special grey Kodo 3 levels above us. With our frostbite talent, we take it down easily, grab its hoof and start a new quest. Next up, we need to hunt some zebras and get their fresh carcasses to bait out a blinked out gangster raptor named After finishing that job, it's off to Ratchet to turn in some quests before flying to Crossroads to do the same. There's just something about the flying in this game that feels so satisfying. Maybe it's just the crazy amount of walking that makes you appreciate this moment. We take down all the thunder lizards for their blood, and while waiting for them to respawn, we have a quick beatbox jam to boost our confidence. The next step, turning in quests and being sent on a long walk to Thunderbuff. Naturally, we have another motivational beatbox session along the way. Once we get there, we set our Hearthstone, grab all the quests and learn a beautiful new spell called Blink, which lets us teleport a short distance. We say our goodbyes and head off, ready for the next adventure in our journey. The first thing we need to do when stepping into the Barrens is take down a patrol and claim Hezru's head. Honestly, it was pretty easy, especially with our new AoE spell Blizzard, which calls down frozen icicles from the sky. Next up we need to find a harpy named Serena and collect her head. Not exactly the most fun task, especially when we get ambushed by a rogue harpy as soon as we aggro her. But after that we are finally back in Stonetalon mountains to continue our questing. This time they send us on a hitman mission at the Loggers Festival. We need to find Agent XT4 and XT9 and execute them without being spotted. I track down and finish them off, but not before getting dangerously close to death in a 1v1 with a drunk Wogger. We execute the mission almost perfectly and find ourselves heading through this creepy tunnel and end up in a new zone called Ashenvale. When we are there, we embark on a crazy walk across the entire map just to unlock a flying path, and of course we need to take down the entire Naga bloodline to collect 20 rat tail heads. At this point the add-on hits us with the dump request to farm mobs until we hit level 23.
Oh my god!
And of course, not knowing any better, we start this insanely boring 1v1 chicken dance with the Nagas on the seashore. I'm getting seriously bored at this point because there's no danger, so I decide to check if there's any quest we can do while leveling, and that's when we find Mr. Muglash. He wants us to join him for a ritual to summon and defeat Vorsha the Lasher. We head to the fire and start the ritual, which means we get 3 waves of spawns to clear. Unfortunately, a friendly priest from the guild joins us in to clear the mobs. We take down Vorsha, and as we are saying goodbyes, the priest calls us NPC and leaves, letting us continue our mindless farming until we hit level 23. After about an hour of this grind, we get invited by our guildmates to join them in clearing a dungeon called Deadmines. Of course, we gladly accept. So we fly our ass to Ogrimmar, and we need to hop on one of those flying ships again, this time heading to our very own Terresfall Glades. But this next ship ride is a bit trickier. We need to execute it perfectly. The plan? As soon as we hit out of the loading screen, we need to jump off immediately into the sea, but we have to avoid a massive rock at the bottom. Landing there means certain death. From there is just a synchronized swim to the next zone, making sure to dodge any high level murwoks in the water. Once we hit the shore, we should be in the clear, but seeing as this is our first attempt, I'm hoping everything goes smoothly. Knowing our group doesn't have much experience with this, I decided to take control. Of course, I'm a little bit nervous, but as soon as we reach the spot, the plan falls into place perfectly. The conversation we are having is just gold, to be honest. The interaction is one of the best parts of the game. Everything works out and we are safe. Now we are ready to start our new journey into the first dungeon we go to. It's time to enter the mine and start clearing our way to the dungeon. As soon as we get there, I pull like a total idiot. I accidentally aggro another mob from the other side and start spamming massive spells, pulling even more aggro. I nearly crap my pants when my health drops low. After that stupid mistake, I learned my lesson and start playing it slow. To be honest, I really like the group we are with. They seemed like they know how to play the game. We slowly cleared the way to the first boss. Here I was supposed to play a crucial role in shipping one of the ads to make the fight easier, but somehow it went even better than planned. We end up pulling the boss without any ads, and I win the role for the chess piece that will help us on our adventure. The next boss is called Sneed's Shredder, a big robot. When it's killed, it ejects his user and spawns a mini boss. The fight itself is pretty straightforward, but we get another cloud drop and it's better than ours, so we take it. We also find the chest near the boss, and when we roll for it, I get the stunning 95 out of 100 and win it. Inside the chest, we find a better wand. Not something too huge, but it's still an upgrade, and some leather gloves, which we offer to our party members. We are moving on. We head down a ramp to kill some craftsmen, goblins and engineers, and when we clear our way, we find the third boss, Gilnet. Very easy, not even sure what he does, so we just slap him around. And when he dies, he drops a nice ring with 6 intellect, which I really want, but unfortunately, having the luck of a 2-legged frog in the desert, I roll a 4 and lose it to the other mage in the party. At this point, a patrol spawns behind us, and we don't want to risk anything, so we take a moment to clear it out before we continue. Here we spot a fake chest and our party starts rolling for it, but the funniest part is that 3 of them roll 30 at the same time. This seems like a very rare moment. Next up on the list is Mr. Smite. He drops a very good hammer that I really wanted to get for our warriors. This fight is fun. Mr. Smite stuns us all, leaving one of the warriors with a pirate on him, and I'm a bit scared for a second, but everything is fine and we finish the fight. Lucky for us, the hammer drops. We clear the rest of the way around the boat and have a very scary moment when we pull a bunch of mobs, but we manage through it and head to the next boss I've been looking forward to, Captain Greenskin. This boss has a great staff with a 50% chance to drop, but of course lucky for me it doesn't, so I forget about it and just move on. Now it's time for the legendary Edwin Van Cleef, the final boss. In this fight we have to manage the ads. Every few seconds Van Cleef spawns 2 of them. Luckily for us, we are 2 mages in the group. We are able to sheep 2 of them, leaving us to deal with just 2 more. We take down Van Cleef, finish off the ads, and just like that, we have completed our first dungeon. The Deadmines are done. We say our goodbyes and we are out of here. To continue our adventure, we get a portal to Orgrimmar for quick access, then travel to Boulder Wold Mine. We need to reach the back of the mine to recover a Somoflank manual cover. There's another player there, a much lower level, so I decided to help them out and make sure they can grab the quest too. We clear through the mine with ease, recover the manual and combine it with 5 pages we have already gathered to complete the needed item quest. After parting ways with our new friend, we move on to the next part of the journey. When we get back to Orgrimmar, we perform a majestic and slightly dangerous jumping stunt, hoping to impress all the players on the server, and after turning in the ready quests, we jump back on a zeppelin to Tirisfal Glades. Then we head towards our new zone, Hillsbrad Foothills. On the way there, we stop at a cave to tackle a new quest. Inside, I meet a new Warwalk friend and together we storm through the cave, clearing everything in our path before reaching our new destination. After greeting everyone at Taran's mill, we are off on a bear hunt. We need to gather all their tongues, which turns out to be ridiculously hard. I'm gonna guess the bears around here are all snitches, and the Syndicate gangs definitely don't like that. Next up, we collect a creepy ichor from these spiders and head towards a very dangerous castle. I invaded like a dark knight riding into the favelas. Our new mission: to kill a bunch of people and find Jailer Eston and Jailer Margan to retrieve a dull iron key, a burnished gold key, so we can rescue some of our fellow Horde members. We first find Jailer Eston, loot him for his key and then go to save Toktar. Then we track down Jailer Margan to grab the golden key and head down the road to this isolated place with no real escape path. As a real WoW player, we cheese this Syndicate mage off the wall and jump down to this ruined house to save Master Thru. We try to cheese this guy again, but the game is like nope, and we are forced to play normally. I save the poor dude and start the escape plan. I spot a big wooden branch fallen across the wall. We clear the mobs, so we exploit the path, maneuver our way up and escape undetected with no mana to spare. On the way back, we kill some more bears and hit level 24, a new record in my book. We turn in the quests, grab some more XP, and it's time to head over to Hillsbrad Fields to take down some melon farmers. First up, it's Farmer Gets, wandering around, and well, he gets got. Next up, it's Farmer Ray, who's hanging out in this house. We'll find him on the first or second floor, kinda depends on his mood, I guess. After taking care of business, I step outside and I spot a mage doing some classic AoE farming. Watching them pull entire groups of mobs and obliterating them in one go looked very cool. But I definitely wasn't ready for it. I didn't have the most important talent that lets my blizzard spell slow enemies. Without that, AoE farming was a bit out of reach for me at the moment. We check in with High Executor Dartalia and Dead Guard Samsa in the village, who tasks us with returning to the Hillsbrad Fields to bring death upon the farmers. They want us to kill 15 peasants and collect 30 Hillsbrad human heads. Yeah, it's insanely dark, but okay, I guess. At this point, we are officially beginning our villain arc, chosen by the Forsaken Hierarchy, and we are sent to wreak havoc on these poor souls, and let me tell you, we deliver. But things take an even darker turn when we are forced to experiment with this happy boy by enraging it, and yep, killing it.
dog do?
And while doing this, I was teased again with this crazy idea of AoE farming. It looked so efficient, so fast, but also, let's be real, terrifying. And still, I stick to my strategy, taking out my targets one by one, or at least I tried to. Maneuvering around the fields made it almost impossible to pull just one farmer at a time, and I'd constantly end up with 3 mobs on me, trying to juggle them and kill them on solo. But this seems impossible, as the mana pool doesn't allow it to happen very easily. And after a chaotic jumping workout that probably looked hysterical to anyone watching, I decided to stop resisting the inevitable. It was time to learn the art of AoE farming. Now, let me tell you, it might look easy when you watch an experienced player doing it. They make it look smooth, efficient, almost effortless. But the second you try it yourself, one wrong move, one bad decision, and it's over. Still, I was willing to take the risk.
You take me to a place where I can shine.
When I started, I wanted to take on the hardest thing possible because I knew the reward would be astonishing, so I decided to go for it. First stop, teleporting to Undercity to respect my talents and prepare for this new challenge. After paying the 1 gold fee, I had to carefully evaluate what I need from my talents to make this happen. Once I was ready, I flew back to Hillsbrad and sprinted straight to the fields. The plan: start small. I pulled a pack of 3 farmers, froze them in place, but immediately messed up using the worst possible spell. The slow wore off, and suddenly I was scrambling to gather them back together. Let me tell you, at first I was absolutely cooked and I had no idea what I was doing, and the hardest part was when the farmers get low on health, they don't just stay put. They start running in all directions, pulling more mobs for backup. The next thing you know, there are even more of them charging at you, and you're standing there in the middle of the field completely out of mana fighting for your life. But after a while of training on small pools, I started to get it. But I hadn't faced a truly bad situation yet. I wasn't sure how I'd handle it if things went sideways. But man, I was having so much fun. Playing with that, skating with just 20% HP, standing in front of piles with 5 mobs, it was an adrenaline rush every single time. Every pool felt like a mini victory and I couldn't get enough. There were moments where I had to reset the groups mid-fight, my heart pounding, my palms sweaty, but even then I felt confident. Until the big mistake. It started like any other pool. I gathered the mobs, froze them and started casting Blizzard. The first wave hit perfectly, but then everything went wrong. As soon as the second Blizzard landed, all the mobs started running in different directions, and I panicked and popped a potion to stay safe. But the real problem? I was out of mana, completely dry. I moved in to finish them, desperate, but the mobs weren't done with me. All the mobs just turned around, almost like they could sense I had no way to escape. Concerned and without the tools to fight back, I watched helplessly as they closed in. We get dazed, and this is the end. At this point, most people would have quit and never looked back, but not me. I'm determined to come back and learn to AoE farm to take revenge on the Hillsbrad farmers. And I did. So see you in the next adventure of Doofenshmirtz the Mage. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you like my work, leave a comment as it helps out to know what you think, and see you in the next one.